Welcome to our Facebook Live. Deidre Melton, Simplify, Yvonne Marsh, Mo Sets Up. That's my crew, everybody up here. Tanya Johnson, how you doing? Little Celia Cruz. Famous Cuban singer Guantanamera. Kamisha McMillan, good afternoon. Good to see you. Guantanamera. Tawanda Dowdell Sherd, how are you? Adrian Hall, bless you. Wanda, Ralph Harrison, good afternoon. Lucy Warren, Tanika Melvin, Tawana Tillery Cornegay, Ardelia McElroy, hold the line. Diane Murray, Milky Nikki Gibson, good afternoon. Coretta Curtis, Lisa Yvette Kano, Renee Holman, how are you? Keita Toombs, Sharon Barner Brown, good evening. Angela Jackson, how you doing? Austin Thompson, brother, how you doing? And Jeanette Johnson, how are you? Amy Lugo, good evening. Keisha Spencer, Carolyn Reeves Wood, good evening. Levita Johnson, hold it down. Hafisa Harris Ward, power to the people. Newark Strong. This is Celia Cruz, Guantanamera. Bernice Calhoun, how are you? Amy Love. Cassandra Gilchrist. Nene Addison. Hit me, please. Let me know what's going on. Deidre Poole, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Stacey Perry, Lucy Burgos. Teresa McFadden. Golden Child, how are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. Good afternoon. Thank you. Sharon Fleming. Akita Sunshine. Denise Talaferro. Blessings, blessings. Samir Mustafa, blessings to you. Terry Hurd again. Mary Box. Dorothy Cromer. Latanya Poiser. Liana Drawn. Ida Austin. Patricia Carter, good afternoon. Keneela, how are you? Happy birthday, Keneela. Happy birthday. Josephine Richardson, good afternoon. Shantia Cornegay, how are you? Blessings from East Orange. Blessings from East Orange. Kathy Paschel, good afternoon. Elizabeth Rainey, good afternoon, Miss Rainey. Tiffany Reed, shout out to Shakira and the Cityplex. She at Cityplex, amazing. Shakira at Cityplex. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Mo Newsom, Alnisa Baytops, Jocelyn Britt, Tia Montague, Ella Flagger, Barbara Moultrie, Rhonda Baker, Danny Harrow, good for you. Tiffany Krabby White. You gotta call them and call those people and ask them about your results, Tiffany. Good news is, if you got bad news, it comes pretty fast. Monica Green, Julia Barron, God bless you. Madeline Warbe Del Rios, good afternoon. Lori Jackson Betts, Linda Barge, Ashiana Santiago, Khadija Darby, Leslie Satterfield. I hope y'all listening to Celia Cruz here. Mia Cox, Amunette Keisha Luliette Llewellyn, Tiffany Caldwell, Ramon Cruz, yes, Joel Daniels, Christine DaCosta Almeida, Taya Tucker, Chris Evans, thank you, brother, thank you. Woody Wood, good evening. Luis Ortiz, Priscilla Leddy, Pinky Jenkins, Malin Marquez, Linda Hamlet Millington, good evening. Steve Shiloh Freeman Sr., good afternoon. Charmaine Mark, trying to read that. Gladys Batista Acevedo, Sandra Sanders, Brenda Hamilton, Margaret Jackson, Chris Valentin Rosario, Charlene Roach Presley, Evelyn Estrella, that's right, got the Guacano, what do you say, Cuban vibe? Yeah, I love that. Teresa Boyd Hardy, Gina Fagan, Cheryl Lambert, Tatanisha Williams, Pamela Smith, Yo, the Party Pro, Darren Martin, good afternoon. Paris Downing, how are you? Bishop Cleveland Blash, Pearl Jackson, good evening, God bless. Marquise, peace, brother. Michael Burgess, Terrell Bryant, Amy Lugo, Cars Parks. Yes, we have to start towing. We too many warnings. We're going to start towing. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Victoria Bennett, Nikki Petaway, Bodu. Good evening. Good evening, Carlos Lane. Good evening, Latanya Green, Chad. Good evening. Julia Barron, Alisa Salam, Amy Grace Field, Salima Imani Bay. Peace to y'all. That Guantanamera, Celia Cruz live. Guantanamera is a traditional song in Cuba. You know, they sing it frequently, and Celia Cruz is an outstanding Cuban singer. We was on 17th Avenue today. A couple people shot us out. I just did the incredible thing today. We passed a historic ordinance that's going to take 5% of funding from police budget to begin to do some anti-violence, trauma care, conflict resolution, domestic violence, social work, to help reduce violence and crime in the city with community-based initiatives and strategies out of the 17th Avenue precinct that once was the site for the Newark Rebellion will now be housed all of our violence prevention programs there. It's going to be awesome, 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 and more awesome. And we got a chance to ban hate, white supremacy, and terrorist groups declare them as terrorist groups in the city of Newark. We did that today, 17th Avenue. Shout out to the Newark Municipal Council for voting for it. We appreciate that, understanding that this is what we need in these times. So appreciate it. I also drove past a couple of those shops in the North Ward. Some of you barbers are open without a sticker in the window, which means we're going to come back. I wrote some addresses down. I'm going to tell on you. We're going to come and shut the place down. So if that's you, you got until the end of the day to get this stuff right, shut it down. Email us, get the application, get a inspection, and open up the right way. We do not want you to open up, and when you open up, we don't want you to open up without an inspection because we don't want to, in fact, get people sick, and then you cause us to close everything back down again because you chose to open up the wrong way for one day. We want to make sure that you do it the right way. So, Governor Murphy, Governor Cuomo, and the governor of Connecticut mandated that if you travel to these specific states, when you come back to New Jersey, exactly what I was talking about yesterday, y'all. When you come back to New Jersey, you must quarantine for 14 days. There are specific states that if you travel to and you come back home to New Jersey, you must quarantine for 14 days, right? Or I would just go get a test, quarantine, go get a test and make sure I'm not positive, and that would shorten my time. Those states are Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Washington State, Utah, and Texas. Again, if you travel to Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Washington, Utah, and Texas, you must quarantine for 14 days, or at least get a test immediately, like I told you to yesterday. You come back, get a test, so you can rule yourself out of that. I will get a test immediately. Wear my mask, my gloves, go to a testing site, get tested, rule myself out. But if you go to those states, because they are experiencing spikes, increases, in fact, in some of these places, they are back in at least a medical state of emergency, even though they have not closed the states back down. They're still moving forward like there's no problem, which I think is completely crazy. And In fact, it is putting many people's lives in jeopardy. I'm telling you, the United States is getting so bad at this that other countries are, particularly the European Union. So many countries in Europe, European Union is considering doing to the United States what New Jersey and New York just did to these states that I just mentioned, making it, but even worse, making it putting a ban on travel from the United States to these countries. European Union is contemplating putting a ban on travel from the United States to any of these European countries. Why? Because around the world, a lot of these countries are going in the right direction. They've stabilized the virus and are working on isolating it. In the United States, we are still rising. We are still rising. Thousands of new cases a day. Thousands of new cases a day. Still rising. Still peaking. There's only a few states like New Jersey that are going in the right direction, and we want to remain that way. And so part of what the governors are doing is trying to tell us that, look, we cannot go to these places, party, hang out, and come back like everything is okay. They didn't have this on that, but I would add Georgia to that list, folks. I would add Georgia to that list. I would add Georgia. I would add Georgia immediately to that, and I would also add California. I would add Georgia and I would add California to that, right? And if you travel to those places, when you come back here, you should get tested, quarantine yourself, and get tested, and get your results, and then come out of there. Please, once again, Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Washington State, Utah, Texas, Georgia, and California. That's what I'm adding on there. So make sure you have relatives and friends that do that. You let them know. They go there. They have to, in fact, get quarantined. We do not want any problems in Newark. I told some folks in the community, and shout out to the South Ward ambassadors. I had a community meeting with them last night. Appreciate your engagement. But like I told them, we travel a lot in the summertime and going to these places down south to our relatives. We need to make sure that when we go down and we come back, that we get tested on our return. And some of our initial cases, our original cases in Newark, were from people who had traveled outside of the city, and in fact, outside of the state. Our initial cases in Newark were from people who had, in fact, traveled outside of the state, either worked outside of the state or did frequent travel outside of the state. Our initial cases. And so that is a telling tale. So when we begin traveling, because we think it's all over, going all over the country, doing all these stops in these states, when we come back here, we have to be extra careful, be mindful of your neighbors and your relatives. So let's get to these cases. We have 7,791 positive cases in Newark. That's an increase of 17. Back to normal. What I did find out about the large number we had the other day yesterday was because I think it was an accumulation of days of tests coming in late, they said, but we'll measure that out and see. We're still going to add that 73. But yesterday to today, we have 17 and no new deaths. No new deaths today. No new deaths. Thank God. More, so we in the U.S., like I told you, there are more than 2.4 million COVID-19 cases in the United States. 123,521 deaths in the United States. It is a little rough. Confirmed positive cases by zip code: 07102 273, 07103 903, 07104 1627, 07105 1259, 07105 is growing, 07106 820, 07107 1321, 07108 615, 07112 605, 07114 315. Deaths by zip code: 07102 30, 07103 109, 07104 135, 07105 48, 07106 70, 07107 78, 07108 68, 07112 52, and 07114 24. Again, I'm going to say every day the importance of wearing a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask. If you guys have any ideas of a great wear a mask campaign that we can do, graphic artists, commercial marketing, please feel free to email it to us, hit us up, because we're trying to do a massive you need to put on your mask campaign, because really that's the only thing that's protecting us besides staying away from people altogether. There is no cure. There is no treatment that we know of. The only way to treat this thing is to not get it. And so what you need is a mask. Masks are, of course, socially distancing or staying away from people. But since we're opening up and we're not always going to be away from people, we need to make sure we have on masks. And if you go into these places, like if you put your life in your own hands and you go into these places and they don't have a sticker on the door, at least wear a mask if you're not going to tell. But I'm going to get some conscientious people of Newark to tell. I want to shout out, my friend told me about a barber that he goes to, not in Newark, unfortunately, it's in Hoboken. And he said that the barbers wear those full white hazmat suits with masks on. They don't do your beard because they don't want you to take your mask off. They only cut your hair. They do a couple of people. They put those people out. They fall, clean the place up, and then they allow another group of people to come in based on their appointments and so forth and so on. I think that's outstanding. Outstanding. There's some barbers in Newark who I know who've created partitions between each station, so you're not in proximity, close proximity with the people who are getting their haircut. But I like the fact that you have to wear masks, and I like when people leave that you clean up afterwards, right? It's important that you have hand sanitizer and bathroom and soap and all that stuff, water and soap available for people. It is incredibly important. Don't take this for granted. And everybody in a place needs to wear a mask. Everybody needs to wear a mask. Yep. And if you go into these places and you see people without masks, you need to ask them, where's your mask? You don't get serviced without a mask. I can't stop you from doing that. I can't even stop you from going in a store that does not have a sticker on it. I advise you not to. If you're smart, you would not. And I can't even get you to report them. But some people will because not only are you putting yourself at danger. See, it wouldn't be a problem if you was just putting yourself at danger, but you put the community at danger, because if you get sick and continue to travel around and move around, you're going to get others sick. If you know employers that are giving people a hard time because of COVID, and they telling them they have to come to work, whether they're sick, whether they have to watch children, whatever it is, please call us immediately. Please reach out to the city. You can reach out to my office, 973-733-4312, or report it at 973-733-4311, 973-733-4311, right? Again, answer your phone. There may be a contact tracer calling you, letting you know you've been in contact with somebody that in fact had tested positive for COVID. Get yourself tested. Get yourself tested, right? So today we were on Elwood in the North Ward. Friday, we'll be at Pennington Court. Monday, the 29th, we'll be at 2nd Avenue, Mount Prospect. Wednesday, July 1st, we'll be at Independence Park. Friday, July 3rd, we'll be at School Stadium doing testing and census. The testing sites still remain the same, except the testing site on Rome Street. The Sharp James Kenneth Gibson Center, we're closing it down today at 3 because we're really just not getting enough people to come there. And we're moving that location to Wilson Avenue School, 19 Wilson Avenue. Wilson Avenue School starting tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wilson Avenue School starting tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's going to be the site that was on Rome Street at the Rec Center is going to be moved to Wilson Avenue School. Look, the food relief program to date, we've served 651,674 meals by the city. The school system has served over 500,000 meals we have served over 1 million meals to the residents since March. So we're talking, 3 or 4 months, we have distributed over 1 million meals to people. If you or someone you know needs food, please leave the information today. The next food delivery is next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're delivering food. We do all our food deliveries on Wednesday. Put the information of people who need food right now in the feed so we can take it down and make sure people get food by Wednesday. By Wednesday, we're going to keep delivering food all the way up to September 1. We're going to keep delivering food all the way up to September 1. Please put people's names down if you need food. Don't worry about it. Fill it up, sign it. Put the names down, even if it's your own name. Put it down. This Saturday, we'll be in the East Ward cleaning up at Eddie Mariah Stadium. You can come get supplies, or on Ferry and Wilson, you can also pick up supplies. I'll share the dumpster locations tomorrow, promise. Dumpster locations, I'll share them tomorrow. So make sure you participate in that in East Ward. And if you know any people in the East Ward, get them to participate. Please, we need you to, in fact, help us clean up. I'm gonna answer some of these questions. If you didn't do the census, 2020census.gov, 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 844-330-2020, 844-330-2020. And you should have got your mail ballot in the mail. You should have got your election ballot in the mail. Fill those out, put it in. I know people are saying that they still have the other candidates on the ballot. You have Joe Biden, you still have Bernie Sanders, you still have other people on the ballot, even though those people dropped out of the race. And what we have to understand is a presidential election process. Many of us still don't understand that we are not, in fact, voting for the person there. We're voting for electors. We're voting for delegates who will go to the convention and cast their vote prayerfully for the person that got either the majority of the votes, a larger proportion of the votes, and those rules change are different state per state. So they go and so Biden is the presumptive nominee. That's why I say presumptive. And I do believe he has enough electoral votes, enough votes now, in order to win the primary. But you're voting, you're casting for those people, right? For representatives, for delegates. You're casting for delegates. You're voting for delegates. Those delegates go to the convention and they vote at the convention for the presumptive nominee who becomes the nominee at the convention. When you vote for the presidential, when you vote in the presidential election, the final one, the general election, you're still voting for electors. These electors vote for the president. That's why you can win the popular vote as a president and still lose the election. Hillary Clinton beat Donald Trump by almost 3 million votes in the popular vote. She won more than 3 million votes, and she lost because of the Electoral College and electoral votes. My opinion: ban the Electoral College, but abolish it, dismantle it. But at the end of the day, that's what you're voting for. And I answered that because I got a question about that yesterday, and I wanted people to know that it is not a mistake. You vote for who you want to vote for on those things, and those people get electors or delegates based on your votes. That's how they go. I'm gonna answer some of these questions. So if you haven't received food, then you need to put your name and information down, Julia. We are delivering food every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. I was there last Wednesday and saw thousands of packages being made and delivered. So make sure that you do that. Please, please, please. Should you have a follow-up test, Omar? I would say check your symptoms, and I would only have a follow-up test if I think I've been in compromising situations. If I've been in large crowds, if I've gone to the protest, if I'm eating in groups of people who are not wearing masks, if I'm talking in groups of people who are not wearing masks. I went to a barbecue, a cookout, and it was just a little compromising for me, I would get a test then. Not just keep getting them arbitrarily, but if you find yourself in a situation, you get an initial test, you good, then you change your lifestyle to make sure you wear your mask, your gloves, you washing your hands, you socially distance from people, and you're not in people's presence for more than 8 minutes. I mean, people you're talking to that are not masked, that you're not in their presence for that long. They're not up on you. People are not touching on you. So if you're in those crowded situations, I would go get tested. I would absolutely go get tested. I definitely, if I was in that situation, make sure they get tested. I see the addresses up. Keep doing that, please. That's important. Put the addresses up so we can bring the food to those folks. Deborah. So part of that is true, Ms. Whitlock. They are waiting to get a color code on some of these buildings about when they can begin letting people in, and that's really based on them. It's not really based on us. It's based on how often they're cleaning, how well they're giving their employees masks and PPE. What are they doing to the residents in terms of the common spaces? Are not gathered? And then how many cases do they have in a building? So if they have an abundance of cases, an abundance of deaths, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then we will give them a red kind of sticker. But so part of that is on us. We have to get there and get those people they're destined, whatever their designation is, so they can determine how they open up. But some of these people are also using that as an opportunity to not allow people to come in the building as well. So we need to pay attention to that. If you have a feeling about that, then call us and let us know. Call us and let us know, please. I keep saying the address is good. Outdoor dining. Okay, so Erica, this is how the outdoor dining works, right? So you still need a sticker in the window to do outdoor dining. You need that. You need to do an inspection. But for the most part, even if you get a red sticker, you're going to be allowed to do the outdoor dining anyway, right? So, but you have to social distance. So the tables have to be a certain amount of distance apart from one another. The people that are serving you have to wear masks. You have to wear a mask if you're not eating. And that's really what's supposed to be going on in these places. Obviously, a lot of places are not doing that, and we're going to go back and check that out. But that is what is in fact happening. So again, people sign up for food delivery right on Gigi, right on this thing, right here. Sign if you look what everybody is doing. You see everybody putting addresses, they putting names, they putting all of that stuff. Let's follow that. BB and Lisa. I'm going to have somebody, I'm going to write that address down. I'm going to have somebody make sure that they hit that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Landlords should not be calling and harassing you. Obviously, they can call you and ask for their rent. There's no law against them, Sharon, from asking you for the rent. If you have it, let me just say this. If you have the rent, you should probably pay it, right? Because we still live in capitalism, and you're going to have to pay the rent at some point. So the law is going to give you the opportunity over time to pay the rent, but you're going to have to pay it. If you can pay it, you should pay it. If you cannot pay it, you should work out an arrangement with your landlord. What they cannot do is evict you at this point, but they certainly can ask you for their rent. VIP Barber on Mount Prospect. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. We're in there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send somebody over there now. I'm going to send somebody. I appreciate that, brother. Can a couple of testing sites be open after 5 p.m.? Yes. As a matter of fact, next week, We're going to start doing the mobile sites, and you can come to one of those, and they'll start around 3:34 and end at 7 o'clock. We're trying to get some of them to end at 8, but they'll end at 7. Good for you, Colin. Thanks for mailing that back. So you said, why, Zaki, I'm trying to read that. Why aren't we building, cleaning pre-entry compartments for entryways that contain UV lights? We're doing that in the city side. We're going to have the UV lights installed in city hall buildings. We can only advise and recommend that people do that in their places. We can't mandate that they do that because there is a cost associated with it. Free income preparations. Yep. You mean, I don't understand exactly what that means. You have to be clear on that. There are non-essential businesses that are opening. Then, you know, and they don't have the information, then you need to close them down. If you don't want to make the information public, then you should, you can call us at 973-733-4312, 973-733-4312, and give us that information. Or you can email us as well, or put it here, or message us on this website, on our Facebook website. Message us here on this Facebook website. Again, remember, fill out the census, 2020 census. Fill out the 2020 census. We need you to do that. We need you to do that. Somebody yesterday asked me to read the Angela Davis, and they thought I didn't know that that was not a poem. Actually, I did know that, but I went with it, and I'm just going to read an excerpt from. And so, you know, there's no need. Just say what you want. It's okay. I'm going to read an excerpt from Our Prisons Obsolete. It says, mass imprisonment generates profits as it devours social wealth, and thus it tends to reproduce the very conditions that lead people to prison. There are thus real and often quite complicated connections between the deindustrialization of the economy, a process that reached its peak during the 1980s, and the rise of mass imprisonment, which also began a spiral during the Reagan-Bush era. That's my excerpt / poem for the day. Angela Davis, Our Prisons Obsolete. God bless y'all. See you tomorrow.